to welcome you to tonight's event. I want to first apologize, though. I know many of you have been sitting in your seats for almost 45 minutes now, and it's gotten a little stuffy. So for that, we'll try to make this go as smoothly as possible so that you don't have to bear the stuffy air any longer. To begin tonight's ceremony, I'd like to introduce you to some special guests. First, Dr. Paul John Nickel, Associate Dean for Academic Programs. Dr. Brent Fox, Associate Professor and Director of Student Affairs and Master of Student Mr. Aaron Bissell, President of the Pharmacy Student Council. Dr. Kimberly Braxton Lloyd, Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs and Outreach. Dr. Dan Surrey, Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs and Strategic Initiatives. Dr. Karen Marlowe, Assistant Dean for our Mobile campus. Dr. Vishnu Subramaniam, Acting Associate Dean for Research. And our three department heads, Dr. Salisa Westrick, Department of Health Outcomes Research and Policy. Dr. Kevin Moore, Department of Drug Discovery and Development. Department of Pharmacy Practice. I'd also like to introduce a special guest that we have with us tonight, Mr. Daryl Craven. He's the president of the Auburn Pharmacy Alumni Association. I hope everyone enjoyed the reception and that you're enjoying the venue. This will be our last year at the Hotel and Conference Center. As many of you may know, the Performing Arts Center is opening next weekend, and we'll be moving over to the Performing Arts Center. Tonight's event was sponsored by many individuals, and one important sponsor was McKesson. If I could introduce Mr. Keith Scott from McKesson. Other sponsors of tonight's event include the folks sitting right over here. We offer individual sponsorships to be able to coach a student or a special person that perhaps you've mentored throughout their career. So if I could ask all of those that sponsor a white coat to please stand. And finally, I'd like to introduce the phenomenal faculty of the Harrison School of Pharmacy, some of whom have traveled great distances to be here tonight. Would you please stand? And then, to end my thanks, the staff that made this event possible and the students that are standing in the back to help guide you as you come in the room. Would you please give them a round of applause? So now we'll begin the ceremony. If you have a cell phone or any other device, you can please turn it to mute at this time. So all of you traveled great distances to be here, and we're pleased that you would join us tonight for our white coat ceremony. The students have had a very long week, the first long week of many long weeks to come. But I've been told that they had a great first week, and that they learned a lot, but yet started to enjoy some of the benefits of being a pharmacy student. So tonight's ceremony is particularly special. It's a symbolic event in which the members of the class are inducted into the profession of pharmacy. Before the week began, these individuals were siblings, they were friends, in some cases husbands, wives, mothers, or fathers. They were students, employees, citizens, laypersons in the eyes of the public. But today, they'll begin a journey that will culminate in their becoming healthcare professionals. Putting on the white coat for the first time is symbolic. It represents the student accepting the responsibilities associated with becoming a healthcare professional and a servant to society. The significance of the white coat represents the past, the present, and the future. For healthcare professionals of the past, the code represented legitimacy in overcoming quackery and mysticism of 19th century medicine. In the present, the code represents your entrance into the profession. It's a visible symbol reminding you to always uphold the highest moral, ethical, and legal standards. And I'm missing a page. I'll make this ceremony shorter yet. All right, well, since we have him up here, I'd like to... Dr. John Nichol is our Associate Dean for Academic Programs, and he has a couple remarks for you about tonight's ceremony.
Thank you, Dean Hanson. The coding tonight will be performed by co-sponsors and faculty. Dr. Fox will announce the student pharmacist's name and the names of the coders as the coding proceeds. Students, as you cross the stage, please remember to stop on the left side of the stage, which is to my right, for a photo to be taken with the dean. Co-sponsors, after coding your students, please continue off stage and then proceed to the back right corner of the room where we'll take a photograph with your student. Mrs. Ballard will help guide you as you exit the stage. Dr. Fox, can you please call the students to receive their coats?
William Holcomb Adams V, coded by Dr. Braxton Lloyd. Rula Imad El Azawi, coded by Dr. Surrey. Carly Ann Albright, sponsored by Tom Albright. Alexis Vitanza Aldridge, coded by Dr. Marlowe. Alexa Kathleen Allen, coded by Dr. Subramaniam. Jayshawn Joseph Baldwin, coded by Dr. Wistrick. Xian Wang, coded by Dr. Moore. Paul Willis Barkley Jr., sponsored by Paul W. Barkley Sr. Vindia Ronnie Bassetti, coded by Dr. Pimzak. Zeke Edward Bellamy, sponsored by Patricia Thurman. Caitlin T. Baylor, coded by Dr. Jackson. Zachary Bryant Blackman, coded by Dr. Amin. Brittany Latrice Boyd, sponsored by Ethel White. Shelby Lauren Bradley, coded by Dr. Arnold. Taylor Simone Breach, sponsored by Kelly Breach. Hannah Bricker, coded by Dr. Bullock. Haley Nicole Brooks, coded by Dr. Calderon. Mackenzie Brooke Brown, sponsored by Dr. Ashley Walters. Raina Mackenzie Burkhardt, sponsored by Dr. Lexi Burkhardt. Tiffany Cadwallader, coded by Dr. Chen. Jose Yanni Calderon Reyes, sponsored by Mark Lumpkin. Jessica Lee Kennedy, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Josh Kennedy. Kaylee Denise Carlson, credited by Dr. Joe. Caitlin Elizabeth Carswell, sponsored by Joyce Armour Bauer. Charles Carter, credited by Dr. Joe Mickle. Lori Tim Yang Chang, sponsored by David K. Chang. Jacob Davis Chestnut, coded by Dr. Chung. Daniel Clark, sponsored by Kelly Simpson. Molly Ann Colquitt, sponsored by Lee and Aaron Colquitt. William Grayson Cordell, sponsored by J. Darrell Massey and coded by John and Deb Cordell. Adrian Hunter Corville, coded by Dr. Don Sakaran. Faith Crawford, sponsored by Brandy Crawford. Ryan McMichael Crosby, sponsored by Jim Doyle. Emily Grace Crow, coded by Dr. Island. Sabrina Davis, sponsored by Carol M. Lacey. Cyan Tony Dar, coded by Dr. Fallon. Kayvon Deontay Diggs, sponsored by Dr. Shalisa Westbrook. Diana Doan, coded by Dr. Garza. Catherine Elizabeth Dorsman, coded by Dr. Helmer. Summer Ray Dooley, coded by Dr. Hester. Trish Elizabeth Elder, coded by Dr. Hornsby. Tanner Alexander English, sponsored by Zachary McMullen. Vincent Allen Fagan, coded by Dr. Hutcherson. Taylor Jean Fallon, coded by Dr. Kadumi. Lauren Elizabeth Fleming, coded by Dr. Kleffinger. Rachel Ann Friend, sponsored by Rex and Karen Friend. Brittany LaShawn Gale, sponsored by Candace Roper. Shelton Kate Divins, coded by Dr. Lee. Emily Ann Goforth, coded by Dr. Lindsay. Margaret Good, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Dave Good. Jonathan Lee Gray, created by Dr. Leisure. Olivia Leila Greenwood, sponsored by Amanda Greenwood. Andrew Allen Waltney, sponsored by Carolyn Allen Bullard. Evie Elizabeth Hackney, sponsored by Lynn Hackney. Matthew Hadley, sponsored by Treva Hadley. Mackenzie Ann Hankins, sponsored by Gina Hankins. Gabriella McKay Harmon, sponsored by Mary Beth Harmon. Aaron Lee Harrell, created by Dr. Maxson. Madeline Ann Carter, created by Dr. McCoy. Emery W. Heffernan, sponsored by Jill Heffernan. Kristen Alicia Hendricks, created by Dr. McDowell. Jillian Lee Hensley, created by Dr. Mosley. Claire Elizabeth Hyatt, sponsored by Lana Carson McKay and coded by Stephen Hyatt. Randy Lee Hooks, coded by Dr. Nosaratos. Rachel Renee Hudson, sponsored by Kristen Sullivan. Caroline Arden Jackson, sponsored by Drs. Kenneth and Sherry Jackson. Jasmine Jamee Jackson, coded by Dr. Holman. William Lloyd Kendrick, sponsored by Sarah H. Boone. Brady Miles Kent, coded by Dr. Chen. Maddie Caroline Kilpatrick, coded by Dr. Reed. Bailey J. Kyle, sponsored by Michael Stringer. Hannah Diane Lambert, sponsored by Robin Lambert. Alex Losar, coded by Dr. Reese. Ansley Danielle Laurie, sponsored by George and Jennifer Laurie. Joseph Evan Lawson, coded by Dr. Sewell. Playing Leg, sponsored by Stephen Grady Leg. Samantha Ann Lytle, coded by Dr. Shen. Paul David Lavoie, sponsored by Leah Lavoie. Colin Scott Mallory, sponsored by Dr. Robert T. Mallory, Jr. Mary Page Martin, sponsored by Dr. Ann N. Polk and Mark Hardison. Shelby Marie Matthews, coded by Dr. Sam. Ashley Brooke McCauley, coded by Dr. Wright. Mallory Ann McClung, sponsored by Lee and Donna McClung. Savannah Marie Metzler, cared by Dr. Stuber. Lindsay Francis Moore, cared by Dr. Smith. Caleb Moses, sponsored by Susan Moses and Craig Hyatt. Ashley Lachey Murphy, sponsored by Barbara Murphy. Jennifer Zoe Nadler, sponsored by Christine Reed. Sadie Gail Newhouse, sponsored by Joe and Beth Newhouse. credited by Dr. Braxton Lloyd. Alex Noble, sponsored by Derek K. Williams. For the women, Abigail Bachelor, credited by Dr. Surrey. Lillian Ashley Parnell, credited by Dr. Marlowe. Jyoti Patel, credited by Dr. Subramaniam. Prayas Hashmut Patel, credited by Dr. Westridge. Michael Wade Patterson, credited by Dr. Moore. Sandra Edwards Perry, sponsored by Dr. Melissa Kirkland. Anthony Ryan Pinto, sponsored by Anthony Pinto. Devin Marie Plochet, credited by Dr. Pinzak. Virginia Grace Reese, sponsored by Brent Reese. Eric Donaldson Reeves, credited by Dr. Jackson. Julie Ann Reynolds, sponsored by Joanne Reynolds. Harrison Cyker Riggs, sponsored by Claire Barnett Riggs. Dylan M. Robinson Duke, coded by Dr. Rooney. Thomas Gregory Rosendich, coded by Dr. Arnold. Teresa Juliet Roan, coded by Dr. Bullock. Joanna Taylor Ryan, coded by Dr. Calderon. Sheikh Mayab Samin, sponsored by Sheikh Salim Uzaman and Seema Aftab. Madison Ann Sanders, sponsored by David M. Sanders. William Stewart Shunrock, coded by Dr. Chen. Aaron Elizabeth Scholl, coded by Dr. Joe. Allison Lillian Sell, coded by Dr. John Mickle. John Riley Shannon, sponsored by Dr. and Mrs. Chuck Shannon. Kylie Nicole Sheets, coded by Dr. Chung. Mackenzie Shoemaker, coded by Dr. Donna Sakaran. Alana Felicia Shinara, sponsored by Mrs. Kathy Shinara. Savannah Ray Simpson, sponsored by Danny Simpson and Natalie Simpson. Samantha Higgins Sims, carried by Dr. Highland. Adam Bennett Smith, carried by Dr. Fallon. Allison Lee Smith, carried by Dr. Garza. Leila Catherine Smith, carried by Dr. Helmer. Sadie Smith, carried by Dr. Hester. Jeffrey Corbin Stouter, carried by Dr. Hornsby. Lauren Ashley Stiles, carried by Dr. Hutchison. Jesse James Sturmer, carried by Dr. Kadumi. Kinsey Page Stewart, carried by Dr. Buckinger. Rachel Elizabeth Swanson, carried by Dr. Lee. Morgan Ashley Tu, carried by Dr. Lindsay. Reagan Caroline Thompson, carried by Dr. Luger. Sarah Elizabeth Thompson, sponsored by Mrs. Susan Thompson. Peyton Marie Trovinger, sponsored by Dr. Frank C. Conwell and coded by Charles and Melissa Trovinger. Ifoma Felucci Uguibalo, coded by Dr. Maxson. Charles Jordan Vaughn, sponsored by Pete Kilpatrick. Haley Marie Wade, sponsored by Carrie Anders. Jessica Renee Walton, sponsored by Blake Salter. Alicia Wayne, coded by Dr. McCoy. Jessie Rebecca Warren, sponsored by Becky Warren. Coded by Dr. McDowell. Robert Jordan Leskovich, coded by Dr. Mosley. Emily Caitlin Whitehurst, sponsored by Rodney Whitehurst. Rayleigh Ann Whitten, coded by Dr. Nostrachis. Holly Grace Wiggins, coded by Dr. Olin. Samuel Lee Williams, sponsored by Mary Elizabeth Anna Crabtree. Danielle Elise Wilson, cleared by Dr. Chen. Larissa Lynn Wolf, sponsored by Carrie J. Townsend. Peyton Danielle Wood, carried by Dr. Reed. Aisha Tamia Wordlaw, sponsored by Sharma D. Wordlaw. Let's give everyone a round of applause.
I would like to introduce our Pharmacy Student Council President, Mr. Aaron Bissell, who is a third-year pharmacy student. He has a few words to share with our new inductees this evening, and following his comments, he will be administering the oath of the pharmacist. This oath is found on the back of your program.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
I want to say congrats to the class of 2023. This is a big night for y'all. I know it was for me whenever I was in middle class. As Dr. Duncan said, my name is Aaron Bissell. I'm the current student council president of the Harrison School of Pharmacy. So, for those who don't know me well, which based on the faces on the audience, it's not very many of you. One of my favorite things is a good story. And this summer I was fortunate enough to read several books, and I was able to be reminded that good stories always have pivotal moments. In my opinion, the aftermath of a pivotal moment is really what makes or breaks a good story. For instance, if Simba wouldn't have gone back home, would Scarlet still be king of Private Rock? I guess we'll never know on that. But on a more serious note, we can relate this back to your future after today. While being coded may not seem quite as significant as Simba challenging Scar, it does mark the future of your career. After this evening, we'll come face to face with challenges and difficulties at the Harrison School of Pharmacy. But you will remember the decision that you made today to become a student pharmacist. And this is a pivotal moment for your career. I challenge you to use this to push yourselves over the short years that you are here. I hope that you push yourselves to learn, to build friendships, build mentorships, and pursue pharmacy with passion. I hope that if you do this, you will find that you will mold yourselves into the pharmacist that you hope to be. And this will help you stand out in the field of pharmacy and will greatly benefit those that you interact with on a daily basis. So another blessing of being the student council president here at the Harrison School of Pharmacy is I have the honor of administering, as Dr. Nichols said, the oath of the pharmacist. I will ask that you recite the oath with me, paying careful attention to the responsibilities that we each have and will continue to assume as pharmacists. We should hold all aspects of this oath in the highest regard and always remember that we are morally and ethically bound to the statements that we are about to make. If you please stand and raise your right hand, I will do the same. And remembering to insert your own name as you are instructed to do so. I promise to devote myself we're gonna start over real quick. I think at this point you're supposed to repeat after me. Alright, we're going to try again, okay? I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others. To the profession of pharmacy. And fulfilling this vow. I, and state your name. Will consider the welfare of humanity. And relief of suffering. My primary concerns. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills. To the best of my ability. To assure optimal outcomes for my patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our professions. Moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, and experiences and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. All right, with the class of 2023, please be seated.
Thank you, Aaron. Class of 2023, congratulations. The journey seems like it's over, but it's just beginning. This concludes our white coat ceremony. I'd like to ask everyone, as you exit the building, we're going to have the students exit first, and then all of our guests, and then finally, the faculty will exit last. So thank you for being here. We really appreciate all of your attendance, and have a great weekend.